Hi everybody, welcome to Culinary Kits for Kids, and today we're going to be making homemade applesauce. Super easy, only 3 ingredients, 4 if you include water. Super easy like I said, and super delicious. You're never going to think about store-bought applesauce after you make your own. Okay, so we're going to give y'all 2 apples in your kit. You're also going to get some brown sugar, and then you're going to have some cinnamon too for seasoning. And this recipe is super simple like I said. So what we're gonna start doing is peeling our apples. So you can leave your apple unpeeled just like this, or you can peel it, it's up to you. If you do leave it unpeeled, you're getting a lot more fiber, so it's really good for your gut. It's gonna be a little chunky, so the texture is gonna be really good. It's just all up to you and what you wanna do. So I'm going to peel one, and I'm gonna leave one with the skin on. So if you are going to peel it, ask your parent to peel it for you, because it is a little dangerous if you have little small hands. So what I like to do is I like to just go around the apple, peel the skin. You could even do this with a knife, but we just want to make sure we're getting the skin off if you peel the apple. If you don't, that's totally fine too. Okay, so we have one of our apples that's peeled and one that's not, so any option is great. Okay, we're going to start cutting our apples. So you're going to need your parent to quarter your apple for you, okay? So we're going to just take the apple, cut it in half, and then we're going to cut the apple into another half, getting 4 pieces just like that. And what your parent's going to need to do is just very carefully, and you can even do it like this, even more careful, get that core out just like that. Oh, I still have a little seed in there, so I'm just going to just very gently take that seed out, and I'm going to do that to the other pieces of the apple as well. Okay. Just taking the seeds and the core out and the stem, and then we're also going to do one with the skin so y'all could see it. And I'm just going to cut the apple in half again, very gently, very carefully. Here we go. Take out the core. If you got a compost, you can put all this yummy stuff in there. If you got some goats, give them the seeds and the cores. Our pet friends really like our food sometimes too. So we already got all our cores out of our apples, and they're already quartered. So now we're just going to cut our apples into little cubes with our kid-friendly knife, okay? Okay, so now that we have all our apples cut and cored, we're gonna go ahead and start chopping them because we need them a smaller size so they can cook faster, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and just in a sawing motion, just start getting our apples nice and cut up. And if you can see this apple, it's actually already turning brown. We just took the skin off right now, and that's because of the oxygen. So when the oxygen is exposed to the apple, or when the apple is exposed to the oxygen, it turns brown because it's being oxidized. So little science buffs, what that means is that there's not a lot of antioxidants in the apple. So if we were to cut a strawberry, it wouldn't turn brown. It would stay that vibrant red color because it's full of antioxidants, shielding it from the oxygen. But since our apple really doesn't have a lot of antioxidants, that oxygen is making our flesh all brown. That's okay though, we're gonna cook it up and it's gonna look the exact same, okay? So just cut your apple, and we're gonna mash this apple up so our cuts don't have to be beautiful, okay? And when you come back, all our apples are gonna be cut and we're gonna be ready to cook. Okay guys, we're back, and all of our apples are cut. I have some in our pan already. We're just gonna finish putting the rest in our pan, in our pot actually. So I just have my pot at a medium heat. Okay, this is just a small saucepan, and I'm dumping all of our cut apples in there. Okay, so like I said, this recipe is really simple. It's super easy to make your own applesauce. You could also make it from pears, so the possibilities are endless. So now that we have all of our apples in our pot, we're going to add our water. Just gonna add our water in there. going to add our brown sugar. Ooh. And then our cinnamon. So now all you gotta do is get something to mix it with, have your parents help because the stove is hot. And we're just going to incorporate all those ingredients in here. And we're gonna make sure that we get all that brown sugar coated on all our apples and our cinnamon. Ooh, got a little straggler. And once our apples are covered in our cinnamon and our brown sugar, we're going to put a cover over them and cook them on medium heat for about 10 to 20 minutes. Okay guys, so we have our apples in here. Our water is boiling, and as you can see, our apples are starting to turn very golden, which means that they are starting to get very soft and cooked through. It's been about 5 minutes, so you really want to tell, you can do the fork test like we taught you with your potatoes. You can actually do that with apples too. So you can just pierce the apple, and if it goes through, they're ready. But some pieces are still kind of tough, so we still need to cook it a little longer, okay? So continue to cook it. This is our 5-minute mark, and we'll see y'all in 5 more minutes. Okay kids, so our apples have cooked for about 20 minutes. And if you look in our pot, you can see that the apples have started to break down. They've turned from white into a very, very yellow, sort of brown color. And they're very soft. And if you go like this with your little spatula, whatever you're using, they're just gonna break apart. So now what we're gonna do is, you can allow them to cool until they're just warm and not hot. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna put them in our bowl, just like that. And so you could either do 2 things. You can use a fork, and you can just go to town, start mashing up your apples, and this is going to create our applesauce, just like that. And you know, it's gonna take a little bit, but we're just going to mash all the apples up. And you can see our skin of the apple that we didn't take the skin off of. It's still very much intact. So that's where our applesauce is going to look a little chunky, but that's okay. And if you have a masher at home like this, you can always use this too and just mash it in your bowl just like that, until you get the consistency that you desire. So I like the fork better, in my opinion. The fork's just easier to work with. So we're just going to get those big pieces smashed. And when you come back, we're gonna have our applesauce ready for you. Okay everybody, so now that we've smashed our apples, here's the finished product, and it's our homemade applesauce. It's delicious. It only takes 3 ingredients, and remember that you can do this with pears. So if you have pears lying around at home, make some pear sauce. Enjoy.